I gifted them some cleats. Some warm, some didn't, but I was like, okay, this is just my little appreciation gift to them. Because they don't be having
yeah, we playing that shallow. Yeah. Which one my daddy cleats should I wear? 93s, 96s. I don't know. Decision.
To get my first rookie contract is lit. I just go to practice every day, bro. It's no difference. Rookie minicamp was fun. It was good to be able to just get back on the field and just throw the football again. What took me by surprise was the endless amount of resources teams have, and it was real cool to be able to have access to them daily. It's different than like college, because in college, of course, you have a lot of resources, but in the league, it's like whatever you think about, bro. The outside noise, everything was put to end. I was able to actually get out there and show what I'm able to do.
Breaking news is shaking up the entire NFL, and it centers on a rookie quarterback the league thought could be hidden on the depth chart. A so-called project. A fifth-round pick. A player drafted 1G 4th overall who was expected to quietly develop behind the scenes. Instead, Shedeur Sanders has flipped the endorsement world completely upside down. Nike is now preparing what sources describe as a record-breaking extension, one that could make Sanders the highest-paid rookie endorser in NFL history. And this didn't come from hype alone. It came from numbers so wild they caught league executives and even Nike headquarters in Beaverton, Oregon, completely off guard. The shockwave started with one thing: jersey sales. That's where everything exploded.
It's a sign for anybody out there that feels like they've been done wrong. You are always going to end up on the right side if you are a good person. Shedeur has been doing nothing but keeping quiet, working, minding his business, driving the speed limit, hopefully, and doing everything he needs to do to prepare for this upcoming season.
$250 million for a quarterback drafted in the 5th round. Let that sink in. A player the league passed on 143 times just delivered the most jaw-dropping rookie merchandise run in modern NFL history.
The clause is called prime equity. This clause gives Sanders a percentage of revenue generated from merchandise, sponsorships, and promotions linked to his name and likeness. That's what I said. It wasn't that his character was stupid. They was trying
He's so smart.
Yeah, that's why he got picked so far back, because apparently his agents wanted this clause in the contract.
Because if Shedeur Sanders can secure this kind of deal, what happens when the next generation of stars demands the same thing? And no, this didn't come out of nowhere. Nike saw this coming back in 2024 when Sanders was lighting up defenses at Colorado. They made him their first ever NIL football athlete. And this wasn't just a logo slap. This was brand building at the highest level. Sanders wasn't simply endorsing shoes. He was creating an identity that echoed his father's legendary 1992 Air Diamond Turf era. By the time the 2025 NFL Draft arrived, Nike was already fully invested. They broke months of social media silence just to spotlight Sanders. Exclusive cleats, custom sneakers, full campaigns that connected his college dominance to his pro future. Then came draft night, and the slide shocked everyone. First round buzz, second round at worst. Instead, Shedeur Sanders fell all the way to the 5th round, landing with the Cleveland Browns at pick 144. Almost immediately, anonymous voices started chirping. Executives claimed he was entitled, claimed he had bad body language, claimed he was too focused on brand over football. Those weren't random shots. They were coordinated. And many around the league now believe those character hits were driven by one thing: his contract demand.
He's going to be one of the richest quarterbacks ever. Prime equity. I want you guys to understand that word, prime equity. Yesterday, I did a video about him receiving $14 million in commission from $250 million earned from his jersey sale. A lot of y'all said, Cap, that's a lie. When Shedeur signed his deal with the Browns, which was $4.6 million, there was a clause in his contract that was called prime equity. This clause ties into brand legacy and financial future to his on-the-field performance, allowing him to potentially benefit from the value he brings beyond just playing football. It could include things like revenue from merchandise, endorsements, and media appearances. So this means because he came into the NFL already a brand, the NFL has to cut him a piece in order to access that. So y'all thought they were just trying to teach him a lesson because of his ego. It was because he was a brilliant business mind. That's why he went so late in the draft. They were trying to ruin his marketability because they knew it was worth money. And they knew whoever he signed to, he was going to put that clause in there. So they were trying to make him look like he wasn't that good. You should have just paid him, because the things that he's about to do is going to change the entire way you see the NFL from this point on.
That same prime equity clause that has since made him a financial trailblazer, Nike didn't blink. If anything, they doubled down. Days before his first preseason action, Nike flooded social media with Sanders content. Custom cleats, exclusive colorways of the Air DT Max 9. Highlight reels stamped with captions like, "Only a matter of time." Then he stepped on the field against Carolina and delivered exactly what Nike bet on. 14 completions, 38 yards, 2 touchdowns. Calm, poised, accurate. The doubts vanished almost instantly. Within hours, Nike Football dropped an ad featuring Sanders' signature watch celebration. Captioned, simply, "Only a matter of time." Nearly 200,000 likes and millions of impressions in less than 24 hours. The timing was flawless, but the response was historic. That same week, jersey sales went nuclear. What was supposed to be a quiet preseason storyline turned into the biggest endorsement story in professional sports. Sanders didn't just play football. He built a financial juggernaut before starting a single regular season game. And here is the part that really rattles the league. Nike didn't just sell jerseys. They sold belief. They sold inevitability. They sold the idea that Shedeur Sanders wasn't chasing the league. The league was catching up to him. This wasn't hype. This was strategy, precision, and power. A fifth-round quarterback just rewrote the endorsement playbook. And the NFL has officially entered a new era, whether it likes it or not. Nike didn't just support Shedeur Sanders. They built an empire around him. An entire Sanders-branded apparel line hit the market at once. Graphic tees priced between $30 and $50. Youth jerseys, women's cut.
So the numbers just came back, and it says that Shedeur Sanders is one of the top-selling new jerseys. I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be the top-selling period before the season starts. But that's not what I want to talk about. This is going to be one of the biggest stories in sports history if he takes care of business. Based off where the quarterback position is going as far as payment, and based off of the fact that he slid where he slid, when it's time for him to renegotiate his contracts, if he's one of the top QBs in the game, number one, he's not giving any discounts. But this is how much money he could make if he plays this right. If Shedeur Sanders plays this right, in 2028, he could make up to $350 to $420 million, with up to $250 guaranteed if he's a superstar. Based off where TV contracts are going and how the game is growing as well, we're about to see one of the biggest stories in sports ever. So Shedeur, all you got to do is take care of business, brother.
Premium, authentic Cleveland Browns game jerseys pushing $175. Limited edition footwear drops clocking in at $200 a pair. And they didn't stop there. Nike plastered Shedeur Sanders across massive billboards, including a Times Square takeover featuring his now iconic watch pose. Bright lights, global visibility. That wasn't a rookie rollout, that was superstar treatment. This wasn't a local push meant for Cleveland fans only. The rollout was global, carefully engineered to move Sanders beyond football and into full-on cultural icon territory. And here is the real twist. Shedeur isn't just collecting endorsement checks. Thanks to the Prime Equity Clause, Sanders gets a cut of everything: apparel, footwear, campaigns, digital content. He is not just an endorser, he is an equity partner in his own brand. That is where the ground starts shaking. If other rookies begin demanding this same structure, the balance of power between players, teams, and sponsors could tilt forever. This isn't just about one quarterback. It is about a system that suddenly feels outdated. But with success comes backlash, and it came fast. The same executives who quietly tanked his draft stock suddenly shifted the conversation to off-field noise. Earlier this summer, Sanders was cited for speeding. 91 in a 65, then 10-101 in a 6. It wasn't the first time a Browns player had been clocked speeding. Not even close. Yet the coverage around Sanders was louder, harsher, more personal. Critics rushed to frame it as proof of immaturity, conveniently ignoring that veteran stars like Myles Garrett had received similar citations without anywhere near the same outrage. The difference in tone was impossible to miss. Then came the character attacks. Reports labeled Sanders as entitled, claimed he blames teammates, said he carries himself with arrogance. Words that, when aimed at outspoken black athletes, carry a very different weight than when similar behavior is praised as confidence or swagger in white quarterbacks. That double standard wasn't subtle, it was glaring, and Shedeur Sanders didn't take the bait. No public meltdown, no social media rants. He stayed quiet, kept working, and let the numbers and performance do the talking. But the narrative kept growing, threatening to overshadow what he was actually doing on the field. Inside the Browns locker room, the situation is layered. Sanders is competing with veterans like Joe Flacco and rookies like Dylan Gabriel. And when the preseason reps rolled in, the contrast jumped off the screen. Sanders posted an 106 passer rating. Gabriel came in at 66 with an interception. The stats favor Sanders. The film favors Sanders. But politics, depth charts, and injury caution still muddy the waters. Then came the reminder of how fast things can flip in the NFL. A minor oblique injury, labeled non-serious, still hit pause on momentum. One hit, one setback. One moment that reminds everyone how thin the margin really is. And through it all, Nike never slowed down. Insiders say a signature Sanders shoe is already in development, with potential releases slated for 20. Working names like LL2C and Proto 92 are already circulating. That is not just another cleat, that is a full sneaker line. That kind of investment is almost unheard of for a rookie quarterback. Nike isn't betting on flash, they are betting on longevity. They see Sanders not just as a player, but as a cultural force, and they are structuring the partnership to grow with him, not just pay him. That is the long game. Nike's strategy isn't about renting influence, it is about building equity. Every campaign, every product drop, every viral clip is designed to lock Shedeur Sanders into the Nike ecosystem for the next decade, not just the next season. And the results are undeniable. Social media engagement around Sanders has quadrupled Nike's usual football metrics. Influencers are sharing it. Insiders are reposting it. Even rival brands can't ignore the wave. This has gone beyond marketing. It has become a cultural moment. But the question still hangs in the air. Can Shedeur Sanders handle the pressure? Can he block out the noise, stay locked in on football, and avoid becoming another cautionary tale where business outpaces performance? That is the question analysts keep circling back to. And honestly, it is a fair one. Because for all the money, all the marketing, and all the unprecedented contract language, none of it means a thing if Shedeur Sanders doesn't win football games. Nike can sell sneakers, the Browns can sell jerseys, but in the NFL, there is only one thing that truly shuts critics up: winning on Sundays. Right now, Sanders is standing in the middle of a full-blown storm. Fans are buying into the vision, brands are betting on his future, and critics are sitting back, waiting for even the smallest stumble. Every snap he takes means more than just yards and completion. It is a live test of whether this new model of athlete empowerment actually works. This isn't just football anymore. It is a referendum. If Shedeur Sanders succeeds, he won't just be another quarterback who made it. He becomes the blueprint for a new era of sports business. A player who proved that athletes can demand equity, control their brand, and still perform at the highest level. But if he fails, the establishment won't hesitate. They will point straight at him and say, "See, this is why rookies should never have this kind of power." That is the reality. The margin for error is razor thin, and the spotlight is unforgiving. The stakes are massive for a fifth-round pick, bigger than anyone imagined. That is what makes this story so gripping. Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing for the Cleveland Browns. He is playing for the future of athlete contracts, the the future of endorsements, and the future of what it means to be more than just an employee in professional sports. Because right now, the sales are real, the hype is real, and Nike is already moving to lock it all down, with a deal that could go down as the most important rookie endorsement in sports history. If you are rocking with Shedeur Sanders and want to see how this story unfolds, make sure to like, comment, share this with a friend, and subscribe for more NFL breakdowns you won't get anywhere else.